Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're actually going to be talking about Voidling Bound. So I actually recently played the playtest and I had a absolute blast. So if you guys are interested in actually watching some of that playtesting, you can check up the upper right hand corner and you can actually see me actually playtest the game. Obviously the game when I played it wasn't in 100% perfect form, but honestly, trust me, it's a really exciting experience. But I believe the playtest is over. But for today's video, we're actually going to be talking about some new information that the developers actually dropped. So on screen here, we actually have a new post. So they have an official trailer now, and they have a Steam page that's live. So let's dive into this. So we'll watch the trailer a little bit later. So let's actually dive into this Steam page here. So this is probably going to be a lot of redundant information since I've covered this game in the past, so we'll kind of go through this pretty quickly. So this is the standard Steam page. I'm not sure if this game is going to be on Xbox or any other consoles, but currently all that I know right now, it's going to be on Steam right now. If I'm, if some new news or if I'm incorrect, let me know down in the comments down below. But I believe this is just going to be a Steam PC game only right now. So let's see, we got Voidling Bound, hatch, evolve, and upgrade powerful space creatures in this action-packed sci-fi third-person shooter that reinvents the monster taming genre. Super exciting. Like, honestly, this is such a fun twist to the monster taming genre. Honestly, it's super fun. Like, it gives me it's like a third-person spore game, honestly. It's such a fun, I love the whole sci-fi, and so far we haven't seen that many voidlings or the monsters themselves, but the ones that I got to play with, super fun designs. But let's see, I think we've seen these clips. I don't think these are anything. Yeah, we've pretty much that one we haven't seen. Let's see. Yeah, we've seen all that stuff there. So about this game, become a space wrangler and take direct control of creatures called voidlings. In this action-packed sci-fi third-person shooter, shape them through branching evolutions. Yes, that's the really cool thing about this game, is the whole branching evolution of the monsters themselves, or the voidlings. So if you're wanting, the playtest didn't really kind of dive into the different elements, but you can essentially kind of change the route that you want your voidlings to go. So you can go fire, or you can go earth, or I believe there's water and ice. There's a couple other elements, but the playtest was limited to to certain elements, so we didn't get to kind of see the full scope. So hopefully the next time I get my hands on this game, we can see a little bit more on that. But still, I really love the whole branching evolution. And then you can upgrade their abilities to overcome let's see, bubonic swarms, pestilent bosses, and reclaim lush planets overrun by corruption. Bound is 1, defenseless against a devastating parasite threatening all life forms. Humanity must team up with recently discovered voidlings to unlock their full potential through the neural bond. Become bound as 1 as the last line of defense in our fight for survival. And then there we go, we take control, and then we can shoot, slash, slam, and blast your way through battles, evade, block, or parry incoming attacks, sprint, jump, and dash across diverse biomes and planets, charge and unleash devastating ultimate abilities. The ultimate abilities, I'm not gonna lie, at least the ones that I got to play with, were pretty cool and pretty powerful, honestly. They took some serious chunks from some of the boss monsters. Let's see. Choose the evolution path. Evolve across branching paths to customize your elemental alignment. Yeah, right there. appearances, playstyle, and abilities. Discover powerful mutated perks that change how each Voidling is played. Craft and pick the right Voidling for each challenge. So one of the things I noticed when I was playing this, when I changed the evolution path on one of the Voidlings, initially it felt like it became weaker to my playstyle. The monster itself wasn't weaker per se, but the playstyle that I was playing definitely did not fit my style until I was able to put some more points into the abilities. But so one thing you do have to kind of keep in mind when you do these branching evolutions, it might not be ultra powerful, at least in your playstyle initially. So just keep that in mind, which is a really kind of strategic thing when you're actually thinking about it in the big picture here. And then, yep, right here, these are like the skills here. So upgrade and customize, level up your Voidlings, and assign attribute points to customize your playstyle. Strength, vitality, essence, recuperation, or agility. The choice is yours. Research deep and powerful ability upgrades to improve their capabilities. So at least when I was playing, agility definitely was really important to the playstyle that I was doing, where I was jumping and then trying to run and dodge at the same time. But there are abilities essentially where you can almost kind of cheat and use moves instead of using agility. So depending on how crafty you are and how kind of creative you are when it comes to, looking at the big picture here, you don't always have to use agility. You can kind of cheat and use attacks that kind of, carry on your distance. But that's what's really cool about this, the whole leveling up your Voidling here. And then the overall picture of, or at least the kind of the story element, is we're cleansing the world. You cleanse the vibrant handcrafted planets, oozing with diverse enemies, each posing unique gameplay challenges, complete missions, and survive challenging arenas to find precious resources, research points, eggs, and mutagens that are key in your fight against the parasites. So in the demo or the playtest itself, there was kind of two modes. There is kind of like a survival mode where like there is a time limit. Yeah, I believe it, if I remember right, my brain's kind of forgot. I believe it was 10 minutes. You basically had to survive like a swarm, and each time you killed one level of swarm, level 2 swarm would come and would be a little bit stronger, which is a really cool aspect. And then the other aspect was kind of, you got to get to the end of the map, and it was kind of you kind of had to unlock. You couldn't just like go from point A to point B. You kind of had to like kind of explore the map and kind of unlock it by jumping on plants and really cool puzzling. And there was a lot of platforming. I was not expecting that. So you had to kind of clean up the corruption itself to actually some of these spots where the leaves would actually kind of become platforms, which was really cool. And so if you actually, I went back and actually tried to figure out where some of these hidden stuff, you can find hidden eggs and hidden mutagens, which the mutagens are definitely useful for the evolution or the branching path of your monsters. And then let's see, you fill your vivarium. I probably butchered that. So basically it's what it sounds like. It's basically it's like a zoo, basically. You can have them walking around like your internal zoo, which is pretty cool. So discover new Voidlings by rescuing and hatching eggs from infested locations. Get lucky and hatch rare natures that empower your Voidlings. And that's another thing. You can also breed these guys. So you can find eggs or breed them. So if you're looking for certain attributes or natures, honestly, we're doing it for the power. We're trying to get better monsters, which is really cool. This game has so many things when it comes to monster taming. And then they got their own little decks. Complete your collection, acquire old voidlings, collect body parts, colors, and this wasn't part of the collecting body parts and colors and eye genes. This wasn't part of the playtest, but hopefully I'll get my hands on this in the near future. And then basically, let's see, acquire game-changing ability genes and mutated perks to fill your collection. And then we craft your perfect specimen. Use your gene collection to craft unique voidlings that combine the strength of all of your discoveries. Unlock powerful synergies otherwise impossible to overcome, ever increasing challenges. So at least currently the devs are recommending, not the memo, but recommending 16 gigs of RAM and a Radeon 6700 XT or a NVIDIA RTX 3060 Ti. So when I personally played the playtest, I was using a 3080, just a standard 3080, and honestly, it was pretty smooth. One thing I did was I capped my frame rate at 120. Like what I said in earlier videos, my panel, I find, like, even though my panel does 144 hertz, I find I get a better experience at least recording at 120. So that's just more of a me thing, but it's, you know, really cool that they already had that in the playtest. Let's see, requires a 64-bit processor, doesn't really. So just to give you guys a sense, I'm currently running a i7 8086K with a technically with an overclock of 5 gigahertz under an AIO water cooled system. Nothing, you know, too crazy, but let's see, 12 gigs of RAM. So if you guys are running hard drives, that's probably one thing I'm probably going to recommend you guys not do with this game. This game is going to definitely be very heavy on the loading scenes, especially with this being an Unreal game. I would not run a standard hard drive on this. At the very least, run a solid state. But if you got an M.2 or any other storage that is faster, I know there's some storage hard drives that can run straight from the PCI Express slot. So just recommending that just from personal experience. And they also are mentioning that they are going to be doing ultra wide screen support from the beginning, which is really awesome. So if you guys have those crazy ultra wide monitors, which a lot of games, I'm not gonna lie, a lot of AAA games do not offer that off the back, like Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter Stories. They didn't offer ultra wide support like at launch, and these are AAA titles, especially like Capcom games. A lot of Capcom games do not offer that initially. It takes them about 6 to 12 months before they put that in the game. But yeah, so let's actually dive into the latest trailer that I mentioned earlier. So let's watch this trailer. What do you guys think of the trailer? Pretty cool, right? Honestly, this game has gotten me super excited, especially after doing the playtest. So before I let you guys go, don't forget to wish list the game here. I'll have all that information down in the description down below. So if you guys are interested in, keeping up, I will be making future videos if there's, relevant information, or if I can get my hands on an updated playtest, I'll definitely try to get you guys, firsthand information on that. But other than that, I will have the Steam page down in the description so you guys can wish list it. So if you guys want to follow on your own, you will be able to. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Take care.